So NC State with a world of confidence coming in to this one, but being tested against the team that gave them plenty of trouble last year, Elon. It was a 0-0 draw on September the 4th of last season. And NC State felt like that was kind of a turning point of its season, even though they did not score, had some good chances, played good, sound, fundamental defense. And that was kind of what got them started and clicking. And for Elon, that was in a string of shutouts for them that gave them a ton of confidence on their way to 11 wins and eventually a CAA tournament title. And with both teams back with so much productivity, as we showed you in the open, there is reason for optimism on both sides and a lot of confidence on both sides coming in. So a real non-conference test against two teams that are perfect. Both teams also with a common opponent. NC State 4-0 winners at VCU. Elon also scored 4 goals against the Rams. They beat them 4-1 in their opener and then went on the road to South Carolina State and were dominated in a 6-0 road win. So they already have a road victory on the year, but this is a different kind of road test, and the foul is going to go against the Phoenix, who are wearing the white here on the road. NC State wearing black at home. There's head coach Neil Payne, CAA champ for the 2nd time last year, also won it in 2021. And yeah, defense, really the identity of this program, and especially last year. And with so much returning productivity, expected to be very good defensively again and outscoring opponents 10-1 so far in the early going. But with all that returning productivity, they are still without their preseason All-CAA goalkeeper, Katie Bisgrove. Naomi Person starts for the 3rd time this season in goal. Meanwhile, for NC State, this is goalkeeper Riley Pickles. Good to see her back and healthy. Suffered an injury in their opener at JMU. She made her debut off the bench after an injury to a Morley Martin Esteban, who is still out for NC State. And Pickles was injured. Ellie Breach came in as the 3rd goalkeeper and made a start last time out in their win against Charlotte. But Pickles back ready to go, and so while she has made her debut, this is her 1st career start.
She's a young goalkeeper with a lot of talent. Known her from her time in the youth game, coming through the system. Very, very comfortable in possession of the ball. You'll see that she really starts in a starting position high and close to the back line. That gives her the ability to both protect the space behind the back line, but also be connected in possession of the ball. I think you'll see in the build-up for NC State that she will have a lot of influence, a lot of touches, more than likely.
Jade Bordeleau! Wow! Less than 5 minutes in! Bordeleau does it herself! We said you might see some goals tonight. Didn't take long.
It didn't take long at all. And the goal just comes from a little bit of relentlessness, to be honest, as Bordeleau just continues to chase it down. Look, it's a long ball from Pickles, and she just never gives up on it. Gets a little fortunate with the bounce, but she deserves that with the fact that she closed it down with such intensity. And then once she gets in front of the goal, there's no question that she's going to find the back of the net in that moment.
Already goal number 4 of the season for Bordeleau, who scored 10 last season. And the NC State press, maybe a little panic there. Jessica Hill just plays it out.
We talked earlier about growing the identity of what the team should look like, and I think, as we spoke about in their last game, their identity is pretty much based around how they press, how they defend, how they create turnovers. And you see that from just the goal there. You see it from the mistake where they kick the ball out for a throw-in. This is 5-6 minutes in, and they're really creating a lot of turnovers already. And it's led to an early goal for the Wolfpack.
The senior from Terrebonne, Canada, just outside of Montreal. 4th goal of the season and the 20th of her career. And it was the Elon match that I just noted they felt like was a turnaround for the program last year, but particularly for Jade Bordeleau. Obviously, it was a 0-0 draw. No goals scored. Bordeleau had a number of golden opportunities and didn't score, and was really frustrated after the match, was kind of down on herself. And Coach Higgins and the rest of the staff told her, look, you didn't score. You probably should have finished those, but you played really well. And don't worry so much about the result of not scoring goals. If you continue to play like that, those goals are going to come. And then they did in a big way. She ended up scoring 10 goals. That goal that she just scored in the 5th minute is now her 14th goal since these teams met last year.
Yeah, he was pretty adamant on the fact that the value isn't taken by the number of goals that she scores. It's more the value is in the impact that she makes on the team. There's no question about that. And he was pleased with how she performed in that game last year, and convinced her that you won't be judged on what you do in regards to scoring goals. It'll be how you impact the team. And I think that gave her the boost of confidence that she needed to go on and go on a bit of a goal-scoring tear.
Now, Bordeleau did it by really blocking that attempted clearance by Alexis Pierce. But do I have to convince you, Coach? Can we give the goalkeeper an assist there? I know you want to.
I don't know if you can or not. Yeah, I don't know if it counts as an assist. I think that would have to go unassisted. You give Bordeleau the assist and the goal if you wanted to.
Yeah.
The fact that she worked so hard to close it down. And listen, how many players would you just see not go and chase that and just give up on it? And the fact that she's chased it down for the best part of 30 yards is a testament to how she wants to play the game. And ultimately, she's created her own goal-scoring opportunity.
It was Carly Montgomery, by the way, who had the header there, and a decent look off the set piece. So, as we said, both these teams brimming with confidence coming in. Man, that just continues here with a fast start for NC State. And now the question for Elon is, can they kind of settle into this match? Have not had a whole lot of adversity early. Again, they've been dominant against VCU and South Carolina State. And while they had some success against NC State a year ago, this is a program that is playing much better.
Yeah, this is a different test for Elon today. You can see it from the opening 10 minutes of the game or 8 minutes of the game. This won't be a game that Elon gets to dominate. I think the chances will probably be few and far between. And I think it'll be NC State that really pushes the game from the very start.
Here we go, Wolfpack, here we go. Here we go, Wolfpack, here we go. Here we go.
Freshman making her first career start in goal. That's got to help with some nerves as well. An early advantage.
Just watching the way she moves in the goal, Andrew, I wouldn't suggest that there's too many nerves there. She looks quite confident in the way she wants the ball.
Ready to play.
Yeah, I said to you at the start, I think she'll touch the ball quite a lot in the build-up. She just looks like that type of goalkeeper.
Well, a giveaway here and maybe a chance for the Phoenix. It was Jess Beck. Could not get on the end of that ball. Initial takeaway from Issa Murdoch. We showed you the returning production, and really up and down this lineup for Elon, so many upperclassmen with great experience like Murdoch, who we highlight in the open, making her 60th collegiate appearance tonight. How about this touch from Bordeleau, looking for Duda. Talia Feigen pressing her counterpart, number 11, Carly Montgomery. Bordeleau looking to spring Duda. Got Roberts running with her, and Mary Frances Sims, who's picked out right at the top of the box. Katie Richter, who scored her first collegiate goal in her home opener on Thursday night against Charlotte. That was the opening goal. Well, it was a 4-1 win. 4 different goal scorers in that match for NC State. No Emily Wong in the lineup. It is Fien Leidecker who scored probably the goal of the match on Thursday. Outside the boot, off the bounce, up and over the keeper. NC State 5 wins a year ago, 4 of them in the ACC. And while there's still a ton of time in this match, if this result holds, as I say that, Phoenix nearly getting in behind the back line, but there's Pickles again. You were just talking about, Coach, covering that space behind the back line. She does it there.
Yeah, she did it really well just to protect the space. If you look at the way that Elon are going to have success, it's going to be playing over this high defensive line against the pressure. And the fact that the goalkeeper can be so connected to the back line is going to be vital with how they defend that space. And you saw in that first moment there where she has the confidence to not just win the space, but to take a touch and play back out of Elon's pressure. And again here, one ball over the top. She's comfortable enough to receive it and start play again.
Just to finish that thought, if this result holds, this would already be win number 4 of the season. So it has just been quite a turnaround from where they were at the end of non-conference last year to now. And yeah, with a win tonight would be the first time in over a decade starting 4-0.
It's a testament to the work that's been done on the training pitch, I would suggest. And like we spoke about in the last game, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You have to go through a lot of adversity and some failure to figure out what works, and you've got to recruit players that are going to play your way.
Erica Roberts still driving with it. All the way into the corner eventually. Pierce sticking on her hip. A lot of NC State players making runs off the ball and not getting any service there.
Yeah, it just went a little stale, that attack. There was a moment where they could change the tempo and speed it back up once they'd switched the point of attack. Unfortunately, didn't have the numbers on this side. Coach Higgins has spoke a lot about overloading in the wide channels, and we saw it overloaded on one side, but then there was isolation on this side. There's nowhere for Sims to play. Ends up dribbling into pressure and can't dig the ball back out again.
Elon returning its entire back line from a season ago. A tough team to score against. 5th-minute goal from Jade Bordeleau. The difference in this one so far, not yet 15 minutes gone by. Look at the pace from Roberts. Works hard to win it. Nakata gets a touch in the midfield. And usually the more she touches the ball, the better for NC State. Nakata creates some space for herself and for now Roberts on the near side.
It's fantastic play by Nakata, just the ability to turn under pressure, switch the point of attack, changes the tempo of the attack so quickly, the ability to receive it in close control and lose her mark and create something from nothing.
Nakata, patient, shot is blocked by Pierce. Phoenix counter.
That's Jade Bordeleau chasing the ball back towards her own goal this time to recover the ball. We saw it that led to the goal. Now you've seen it that stops the counter attack. That's just relentless work ethic. And listen, if you don't have the most amount of talent, you better have a team that's ready and willing to work for each other. If you've got talent and that work ethic, you're going to have good product. And I think that's why we're seeing NC State having some success early this season.
Montgomery whistled for the foul. Here's the shot from Nakata a moment ago.
Not dissimilar to what we saw Katie Richter produce in the last game, receiving it on the edge of the box. Just a little deception to change it, put it onto her left foot. Obviously not the same end product, but still the same quality in the way she receives it and loses the player that's coming out to pressure her.
Roberts wants to use her speed. Roberts goes for goal, smothered, sawn all the way by Naomi Person. But just the pace, it jumps off the pitch. I mean, you can see it from afar.
Lightning fast. We've seen it in 2 moments so far. In that moment, she might have been too fast for the rest of the team as they all tried to keep up with her. Daisy Duda was making a lung-busting run, and she must have ran 55, 60 yards up the field as that counter-attack happened. Unfortunately, Erica Roberts just didn't quite see her there and couldn't hold the ball up just to get into the attack. But I saw the run coming through the middle of the field.
Erica Roberts, now a senior from St. Petersburg, Florida, and started her collegiate career a couple of years in Gainesville with the Florida Gators before going to East Carolina. 1 year with Coach Higgins there, and then following him to NC State. But dealt with injury at Florida, had a hip labrum tear And even when you come back from injury and you feel healthy and quote unquote 100%, you're still really working to get back to where you were. And she said this year is the first year where she's truly had continuity with the place that she's in and her health, and really feels fully back to her speed from that hip injury. And I think it's evident that she's maybe the fastest player on the pitch.
Based on what I just watched, she's running with the ball and leaving everybody behind her. I would suggest that she's at maximum capacity right now. So good for her. It's nice to have her back and fully healthy and feeling confident.
Katie Richter will get a rest, and Madison Castine will come in. Castine, like Richter, scored her first collegiate goal in her home opener. Castine netted the 4th goal for NC State.
Two very talented freshmen that play out on that left-hand side. Play it in different ways. Katie Richter likes to stay wide and receive the ball and drive at the fullback and create problems off the dribble, whether it be cutting into finish or going on the outside to cross. Whereas Madison Castine prefers to go inside, very technical, good passer, good final product. So it's interesting that that's the change that they keep making. We saw it in the last game as they switch roles. We've seen it so far through the course of the early season. But two supremely talented freshmen, very, very different profile of player.
Elon plays it all the way back. Be a Phoenix throw. Grace Gelhaus, the CAA Defender of the Year, first in Phoenix history, wearing the number 6, captain's armband. Some pace from Megan Dwyer. I scored it out on a play by Yuna Aoki.
Now entering the Phoenix is number 17, Lauren McCall.
Dwyer gets around 1. Montgomery again puts it out for a Phoenix throw. The Phoenix unbeaten in their last 16 regular season matches against non-conference opponents. That streak dates back to 2023. So not just their current unbeaten 2-0 on the line, but that lengthy streak on the line tonight. Falling behind 5 minutes in.
It's an impressive run. Very impressive. It's the first real time so far in the opening 25 minutes that we've actually seen Elon sustain some possession of the ball inside NC State's half. Interesting to see if they can create something or if they can continue to play in this manner.
Again, as a team with a lot of experience in terms of just time in college, a program loaded with seniors, juniors and seniors, but also experience in being champions and winning the CAA. And again, having so much success in non-conference as well. And they are starting to grow into this match. The veteran fifth-year center back plays it back to Pickles. Ball did go out for an Elon throw right at about midfield.
See Elon just in their defensive presence here. They've gone man-to-man in their out-of-possession shape. NC State have adjusted and pushed two extra players in Duda and Nakata onto the highest line. So it's becoming really, really difficult for Elon to create any pressure on the ball based on the fact that there's 5 attacking players on Elon's back line that are Wolfpack players. If they can't create that pressure, then they have to reduce the space so that there's not options for them to play in the gaps as those lines are created. As obviously they've already got the threat of Roberts' speed and Jade Bordeloux's ability or willingness to run behind the last line. So if that keeps happening, it's going to have to be something that will tweak if the man-to-man pressure doesn't continue.
Misconnection there. And getting those attacking players forward. You were talking on Thursday about how impressive the veteran center backs were. They're comfortable with Montgomery and Moore back there and almost forming a back three when the keeper steps up.
Yeah, and I think that's Montgomery and Moore played in more of a 2 in the last game. Here Pickles has the ability to step in between to create that 3. It's allowing both fullbacks to get a lot higher, but also adding numbers to that back line. And you can see it here again where it's 4 for 4 on the back line as they play that, even though it's a long ball. But it becomes really difficult for Elon to step any additional player out because that's always a threat. Because Pickles is the spare player when she has possession of the ball, and she's played multiple long balls now trying to get behind the back line. You have to defend that in the right way. So Elon having real problems applying any real pressure higher up the field.
Bordeleau intended for Castine. Contact there, and Lauren McCauley goes down. Good to see a smile on her face, though. She's all right. Some contact from Castine. I don't know quite that much.
I suggest that was maybe a little late.
But McCauley was smiling about it, the senior. Playing in her 55th collegiate game tonight. A veteran move.
Yeah, veteran move by a freshman on a senior.
Sims loves to attack, driving at the Phoenix. passed right to Roberts. Tries a shot, took a deflection, should be a corner, and it is.
So that's a way to break that pressure. They play into the wide channel with Sims, who then drives to beat her opponent from an individual standpoint. But then Bordeleau checks in and then spins and runs behind. It creates a massive pocket of space for Sims to continue to drive with the ball. That could be a frequent way to beat this man-to-man pressure.
Dude to the back post. Montgomery rings the crossbar. Well, that is twice. They have found number 11 on the set piece, and twice she has almost scored.
We saw the same setup here in the last game with Montgomery hanging at the back post. Great service, again, from Duda. Very dangerous in any sort of set piece, especially with the corners. Rises really, really well and really unfortunate to not just sneak it underneath the crossbar.
For a team that has had 9 different goal scorers, Montgomery that close to being number 10. Montgomery, the Texas transfer, graduated in 3 years. Transferring to NC State, where her mom, Kim, was all ACC. Bordeleau does well. And Leidecker has shown she can finish that kind of attempt, not this time.
Yeah, I think that one was a little bit more difficult than the one she scored in the last game. It's coming down out the sky, right on top of her ability to adjust and try to finish. Worth the attempt, but a difficult finish.
Gelhaus trying to spring Feigen. Moore has to retrieve this way down into the corner. But again, NC State is plenty content to keep possession. Feigen's ball took a deflection and a good one. Sims clears. Now that was a push, and with back to goal, kind of in a needless spot, coach, and now this is a decent spot for a free kick if you're Elon.
Yeah,
don't mind that foul at all.
Yeah, no reason for that foul at all, and it puts them in a dangerous position here, and probably the first time that we're going to see Elon get the ball into the box and create any real type of danger. Yeah, needless foul.
And Sims, veteran player for NC State. I don't know, maybe frustration because she turned it over just a moment ago, but Elon with the chance and that close to equalizing. And so while they have not had a lot of chances, all it takes sometimes is one bit of opportunity.
Yeah, one unnecessary free kick given away that leads to a chance on goal. Like you said, if it's a few inches lower, this game's 1-1, and without any real need for it to be that way, because I think NC State have been in complete control, not created a lot of chances themselves, but they are in complete control.
That was the freshman Nicole Kleiner with the chance. NC State has conceded 2 goals this year. You could argue both were kind of self-inflicted. The first one certainly a miscommunication between the back line and the goalkeeper, led to a tap in on a misplayed pass back. The other came with the new rule change, goalkeeper holding onto the ball too long. If you do that, after 8 seconds, you concede a corner, and Charlotte scored off that corner kick. But it happened at the perfect time if you're a coach, because you're up 3-0. So if you want to prove a point as a coach, you say, hey, this is why we can't let that happen. And also, it didn't hurt you too much.
Yeah, it's a good learning moment for Breach. It was the new rule comes in place, and somebody was going to have to suffer from it at one point.
Pickles made the catch. And a Wolfpack player down, that's Aoki, but able to jog it off. It was Grace Gelhaus who put it on target. Aoki scored a header on Thursday for her first goal of the season. And yeah, Aoki fell down and then took some contact, completely incidental, from Gabby Tirado. Just the effort and the hustle, the pressure from Jade Bordeleau. Defenders have to be able to hear her, you know, behind them.
Yeah, she's.
And it impacts the way that they play the ball.
She's a nightmare. I wouldn't want to play against her. One, because she runs so much, and I don't think I could run that much now anyway. But she's just relentless. She gives you no time, no space on the ball, causing turnovers herself. We've seen it from the first couple of minutes of the game, which led to a goal, and now we're seeing it with the last 10 minutes of the half, where she's constantly creating turnovers from chasing stuff down.
That's some good work from an attacking player in Tirado this time, who draws the whistle. Tirado, one of 3 transfers. Ton of success at Marist last year, scored 7 goals. Moore does really well. And Person made a decisive move to get the ball.
Yeah, it's good aggressive goalkeeping to come and win that. No hesitation, movements towards the ball immediately, and then what looks like a comfortable take, but the decision-making process was very good. But in that last phase of play, we saw another way for them to beat the man-to-man pressure for NC State is Mana Nakata came deeper and ended up sitting as like a double pivot, 2 6s. That created a huge pocket of space for Bordeleau to drop in, and she linked up with Castaigne. Mana Nakata ended up with the ball again, and she was the one that dictated the switch at point of attack, which created this sort of numerical advantage in a wide channel. Just another way for them to try and create advantages and move the opposition to break any sort of man-to-man pressure.
Just tactically so far, not even this match, but this season, been impressed with what you've seen from NC State.
Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, I've seen them try and do it in a few different ways as well. It's not, they've not just been one way of doing it. They've done multiple ways. They've got Pickles who creating threats by trying to play the ball over the top. We've seen Mana Nakata drop down or go higher. We've seen them overload the last line. So they've done it in multiple different ways, even just in this game. And then if you add the games, the first 3 games of the season on top, we've seen them produce different ways of trying to play in the most effective way.
Castaigne wins it. Bordeleau charging, shooting wide. take a look at Bordeleau earlier. 4th goal of the year, and it's the pressure she puts on the back line.
Relentless pressure just to chase down what could be deemed as a lost cause. Creates her own turnover, ends up with an opportunity right in front of the goal, and an excellent finish.
She comes from a family of hockey players. Her grandfather, her dad, her brother all played in the NHL. So she's the only soccer player, but one thing they all have in common, goal scorers.
Goal scorers, or maybe the attitude to just win the ball back, or run somebody in the board, or run somebody down. I don't know too much about hockey. I just know that I don't want to get involved in one of those tussles, and it looks like Bordeleau's got no problem doing that.
Fourth goal of the year in this match number 4 of the season. One of 8 shots in the first half for NC State. Nearly.
It's a good idea. I don't think she needs to play it on the inside. She needs to play it on the outside. As the runner's coming in, we don't want a diagonal run with a diagonal pass. Maybe that straight ball down the line with that diagonal run would have got her in behind. But a good idea from Castellano the same.
We'll hear from Coach Higgins going into the halftime break. I don't want to assume, but I would imagine so far he has to be pretty pleased with how his team has looked. Very similar to their previous 3 matches. Roberts! That was dangerous.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty happy. I think he'd want more moments like that, though, where he's getting the 2 wide players to create moments of individual quality, get shots off. There hasn't been too many opportunities that have really tested the goalkeeper so far. We see that one there. It could either be a cross or a shot. I don't know. I'm going to say it's a shot because the goalkeeper makes a save. But I would suggest that he wants more, probably, final product.
That person got a touch to it. Might have been heading towards that back post. Any other touch, I mean, as a defender, you got to be very worried about own goal there. That is just a tough ball to deal with. Leidecker and Torado being spoken with. And a miss hit, it looks like, off the corner kick. The Pickles here all the way out at midfield. Leidecker. From about the same bit of real estate where she scored on Thursday night. And hey, shout out to our tape room. They've got the goal from Thursday. And here it is.
To keep on a highlight reel.
Maybe the goal of the year so far for NC State.
I might challenge you on that and say that I think Katie Richter's was a little.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
That was pretty special as well.
But more.
It's always a good sign when you've got multiple candidates in the same match, no less. Sims making another run. Close down. Smothered by Murdoch.
Elon doing a really good job of once they get pushed deeper by NC State's possession, they're just getting really compact, blocking any sort of central ball. So the only way for NC State to get beyond them is to go over them, but there's no space there, or they go around them, and that's where they want to go, and they want to be comfortable defending in the wide channels, Elon. But there's no space centrally for them to go through when they get into this low block. They're doing a good job defensively, just irritating NC State probably at the minute. Hence why you see Symes running inside off the dribble.
It has been effective to this point, keeping it 1-0. At some point, though, they are going to have to come out of that.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bordeleau going for goal. Ends up in Person's hands as the clock hits zeros. Jade Bordeleau less than 5 minutes in. The difference in this match so far. Just looking for a little composure when they win the ball. It will be interesting to see how they balance the risk reward in the second half and how potentially rigid they are still in their organization. Offside flag is up, and it is noticed here by our referee, Eric Tattersall. You heard the praise, too, from Coach Payne about how good NC State is in their composure. You're talking about composure on the ball, but just their composure as a team to not get down early after conceding the goal.
Yeah, it could have gone very different in the first half. Conceding, and honestly conceding out of nothing, right? The chance comes from Bordeleau just chasing a long ball down.
Right.
So it would go down for me as an error leading to a goal because they had a possession of the ball. So they could have caved in there and away from home and coming up against a good team that's full of belief. So the fact that they were able to settle it down and get back into the game and show up NC State for a little bit was quite impressive.
Coach Payne, by the way, played his college soccer at Coastal Carolina. Elite goal scorer. 46 goals in his career. The 1995 Big South MVP. So his team will need at least one goal in the second half. He knows a little something about creating goals.
Certainly does.
Jade Bordeleau knows quite a bit about it as well, although didn't get this one quite right. But an encouraging start to the second half to find her in that area of the field with her right foot.
It's a difficult chance for her to try and convert, especially when the ball's behind her. I thought maybe it might have been a better option for Mana Nakata to get on the end of it and Bordeleau to run the back line in towards the goal a little bit. Obviously she's got a goal scorer's instinct, so she wants to try and get on the end of everything that comes into the box.
Sure.
But it felt like a really difficult chance for her to try and convert.
Pass over hit. And the hustle is there, but could not prevent the corner. be taken by Feigen. And not her best there. Easily dealt with by NC State. But Montgomery is down.
Looks like she maybe misjudged that. Caught a portion of her nose on the clearance.
Ouch.
Tough central defender. She'll get over it.
Pickles rises up. No trouble for her. Looks to spring the attack quickly to Rosolu.
It's great goalkeeping. I love the fact that she's confident enough to come and take that and then start a fast attack. She eliminates five Elon players immediately with the fact that she just distributed the ball straight away, increasing their level of how State can really attack Elon's back line.
Offside here, although it's rolling out of play anyways. Sims. Nicely done. Lifted away by Captain Jordan Green. Again, Elon, 4 goals against VCU, 6 on the road against South Carolina State. We have not seen that kind of offensive firepower tonight, although we know they are capable. Aoki plays Nakata in the middle of the park.
Just from the first few minutes of the second half, it looks like Elon might have changed their defensive shape. It looks like they might have dropped an extra player into the back line and created a back 5. It didn't look like that in the first half, especially when NC State were overloading the back line, creating 5 versus 4, so that NC State always had a +1. Looks like they might have tried to eliminate that by going into a 5. We'll get a look at it next time that NC State have the ball, but it'd be interesting to see how that tweak changes it. Are they able to get out of that 5 to try and create attacking output, or are they just going to sit and hope for a chance here or there?
Work to be kept in by Murdoch, but Nakata comes away with it. This is Richter. The freshman knocked down. Heavy collision with Megan Dwyer.
She's so good at just shifting the opponent with one touch. We saw it in the goal that she scored in the last game versus Charlotte. You see it here. She drives at the fullback, stands them up, waits for them to engage, and then she just a little touch to move it around the opposition. Almost like a futsal player in many ways. Just that quick touch to eliminate that any sort of defensive presence.
She goes for goal. Did not catch person, kind of leaning, but a little creative there just to see as a keeper. You're worried about maybe taking a couple of steps forward, punching that ball out of the air.
Absolutely. And
try to sneak it by her.
With service like that as well, you get so many players that are running across the line of the ball, whether it be an attacker that's running in to try and finish or a defender that's running back to try and defend it. I think if you increase the number of runners that go beyond it, it makes the goalkeeper's job really, really difficult. Not on this situation, but the type of service. You see it a lot, obviously, in the pro game and the elite level of the collegiate game, is that you see a lot of service going towards that back post. Goalkeeper can't commit to it.
Naomi Person looks to get the Phoenix moving forward quickly. Green pulls down Richter, and that again will draw the whistle of Mr. Tattersall and a yellow card. So Jordan Green is booked.
I think that yellow card maybe comes down to the accumulation of fouls on Katie Richter rather than the singular foul just there, but another good piece of attacking play from Katie Richter.
Foul on NC State. And that was a whistle that Elon definitely wanted after that ball was headed into a tough spot to defend.
Been a lot of fouls in the opening 10 minutes here. Not much flow to the game.
Stop start
at all.
Feels like NC State has been at its best when the match has had some rhythm.
Correct.
And I think Elon will mind if there's a little stop-start.
Could be part of the tactics to say, hey, listen, let's slow them down. If we can't get the ball off them, let's slow them down from playing. Let's disrupt the way that they play. That could certainly be a tactic. If it continues, then I would suggest it probably is a tactic, but we'll see.
Dwyer with a nice high ball that NC State covers. We mentioned the draw last year at Elon, 0-0. Outside of that, it has been a rivalry dominated by NC State as Leidecker is offside here. 16 wins and the one draw. That was the one time that Elon has gotten a result. And looking to build on that and get their first win over the Wolfpack, but it started obviously not the way they wanted. Another look at the offside.
Yeah, it's definitely offside. And I think I might have been wrong on them reverting to a back five. It's actually the fact that Leidecker's pushing onto the last line and then man marking her that makes it look like there's five in that back line. There is only four. But the fact that Leidecker is jumping in that from that 10 spot.
Bordeleau. Well, even from a tight angle, it is a goal kick. They say no touch from Person.
Now entering for the Phoenix, number 20, Isabel Lopema, number 21, Jess Bay.
As Elon makes a couple of subs. Leidecker to Roberts. Left-footed strike. Certainly took a deflection.
Entering for the Wolfpack, number 15, NC State Wolfpack. The corner kick for the Wolfpack is
Duda subs in for Leidecker and will immediately get to work.
This is where Duda's quite dangerous from set pieces. She's been had the ability to find Montgomery on the back post from an earlier service, and the product ended up hitting the crossbar. So we'll see if it happens again.
Nearly. This time it was Bordeleau. Not the same formula.
Coach Higgins rightly upset here. There was a quick throw-in taken by NC State, and it got a runner in behind, and the referee stopped it to bring it back, saying the throw-in wasn't taken from the right spot. It certainly looked like it was taken from the right spot from up here. A little frustration from Gary Higgins, no doubt.
So go back, no trouble to Person. Here in Raleigh, what's turned into a beautiful night. It was hot at the start of the doubleheader. Things have cooled off. Weather's starting to get a little nicer. Yeah, 75. Nice at this point. What a nice time of the year, right? College soccer is in full swing. Premier League started. We won't talk about yesterday's Man United match.
Please don't bring it up. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. But for NC State this year, trying to start and finish that same way.
Yeah. If we're talking about NC State, it's a different story there.
But just a great time of the year. You know, we just coming off the World Cup, and we've got a ton of quality soccer. Richter dispossessed. Dwyer made the play, continues her run, and plays for DeJess Beck. Phoenix with some confidence. It's Murdoch, safely seen by Pickles.
It's disappointing from that attacking standpoint from NC State. They had an opportunity to create 2v1 here. Mano Nakata did an excellent job in switching the point of attack and found Richter on the ball, driving at the fullback. Aoki with a long burst in overlap, and she should have played her to go on the outside. Instead, she tried to dribble on the inside, lost possession, and it ends up being an opportunity on NC State's goal.
Probably the most positive attack from Elon so far up the pitch. Ends in a shot from Murdoch, who had 20 points last year for the Phoenix, most by a Phoenix player since 2019. Been pretty quiet tonight until that. Richter again making noise. Just over the head of Roberts.
I know that save was an easy save for Pickles, but she's looked really assured throughout the whole game. Maybe one moment of distribution that was a you know, you could have asked questions about, but all in all, for her first collegiate start, I think she's done really, really well. Very composed in possession of the ball, really confident in coming out and claiming stuff in the air. Dealt with this shot, although it's you know, it's certainly a savable action. Dealt with it comfortable. Really impressed.
Yeah, and while for the most part, her defense in front of her has made it comfortable, she may have to make one or two more plays before this night is through in order to preserve the clean sheet.
Absolutely. But if you've got a goalkeeper that sort of oozes confidence to the team, it makes such a big difference to the way that the team can play.
I know as a keeper you have to be vocal to your back line just because you can see everything in front of you, but is that part of being vocal too, to show that, hey, I'm confident back here?
Absolutely, yeah. If the actions that she does is that probably gives more confidence to what the team's doing, whether that's her coming out and taking crosses or whether that's her connecting passes in the build-up. If she's doing it with real confidence, the team will obviously buy into that and they'll see it happening.
This is the foul on Kleiner, the freshman. That's a sign of confidence there. Comes out for it, immediately throws ahead to Aoki.
Absolutely brave, coming through traffic, starts the attack immediately.
It works like a pass to Duda. The NC State attack continues. It is Roberts with space off the crossbar. Richter now.
Great effort from America Roberts. We've seen it in the last two moments. The first one led to a corner where she cuts inside to try and take a shot.
Another chance! Buried! A relentless Wolfpack attack, and they find their second.
Yeah, the first one was a great effort when she picked it up off of the big switch. She drives inside, goes onto her left foot, gets a shot off, hits the crossbar, comes out. They win the ball back almost immediately. Get the ball back into the end line, cuts it back. Clearance is poor. Erica Roberts' first touch is sensational, and then a finish off the left foot. Difficult for the goalkeeper to deal with. Great touch there. Preps it for herself perfectly, so she can walk into the next action and put it in the bottom corner.
Sims played it in. It falls to Roberts. And she connects on her second of this season and the second goal tonight for NC State. And now it is a long way back for Elon.
An asset to have two wide players that can go on the outside and beat you on the outside or cut inside. This is the moment where she cut inside before the goal was scored. Excellent. So difficult to defend players like that. They've got one on the left side with Katie Richter. They've got one on the right with Erica Roberts. It just keeps the defenders. They can't defend you one way. If they show you down the line, they'll cut inside. You can't defend that moment. If you try to show them inside, they go on the outside. It's all kinds of problems. The fact that they've got it on both sides is a major advantage towards their attacking output.
Deep shot on target from Feigen. But again, Pickles plays it perfectly.
And that whole attacking phase that led to the goal, let's not take away the fact that it started from Pickles coming to win the ball, fast distribution. The attack didn't stop from there, right? I know it was a different phase of play, but they get into the opposition's half by the fact that she changed the tempo of the attack.
So a second goal for NC State. really puts the pressure on the Phoenix at this point. And if you're Elon, I mean, you've tried to be a little more on the front foot at times. I'm not sure how much more. They've been defending a lot. Now you're in the final 20 minutes. Legs are going to be a little heavy.
Yeah, that second goal was a bit of a, you know, a gut punch to give that up. Some of the belief will go. They've had a couple of chances that have been shots from distance. Nothing major. Certainly competed throughout the course of the game, but you get a moment of individual quality like that from Erica Roberts, whether it's the first opportunity that hits the crossbar, whether it's the touch that sets her up for the actual goal that she scores. Those are the difference makers when you're going against some of the top programs. That's how they separate themselves in those moments of quality. You see they're overloading here. Aoki in a position to, they just roll her straight in, she'll be in. It's still on.
In the spring, Richter, and Person came out for it decisively. There was a long conversation with Dwyer a moment ago. This is what we think the conversation was about. And she was saying, okay, maybe I committed a foul, but how about on the other side? Look what I'm dealing with.
Just a little jostling, nothing really there.
Boy, Roberts and Sims combining on that right side have been causing a lot of problems for Elon. A lot of conversations happening. Smart play by Nakata. Don't want to allow any easy counter-attacking opportunities. Again, both teams trying to keep their perfect record. NC State just over 20 minutes away from improving to 4-0 for the first time since 2013.
Excellent reading the play from Nakata. And just seeing the build-up there. NC State 7 versus 4 in the build-up. Elon won't be able to get enough pressure on the ball if they don't release some of the numbers from this back line. Again, midfield, man-to-man. Well, NC State just push numbers higher, and it creates major problems for the front four to try and defend it.
Numbers for NC State now. Roberts This is blocked.
Corner kick of the Wolfpack, on the touch.
Oh, Bordeleau with the free header. Might want that one back. Nearly had her second brace of the season.
She'll be disappointed with that. She'll only get that on target for sure, at the minimum. A lot of freedom in there. She was able to lose her mark. The marks are really aggressive at the back post. Lots of contact. She was able to lose it and find a free spot. She would have been disappointed that she didn't hit the target.
Murdoch with the hopeful ball. It'll trickle all the way to the freshman goalkeeper.
I thought you were going to say trickles to pickles there. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, no, but that's part of the strategy. You know what I mean? NC State has had a lot of the ball tonight, and Elon still chasing here with 17 minutes left. Castine has come in on this right side and just runs out of room. Chance to play the freshmen together, Richter and Castine. Giving Roberts a rest after scoring the goal that made this one feel a little more secure.
It was a perfect moment. We talk about NC State have had a lot of the ball in the build-up, and Elon have tried in moments to increase the pressure. When they've done that, NC State has just said, okay, we'll go behind you then. And that's what we talked about earlier on, when we've seen over the course of the first 4 games, especially over the last 2 games, where when they've found difficulties in doing certain things, they've gone, okay, let's look at a different way to try and beat any sort of pressure. We saw that in that moment, okay, we'll draw you onto us, we'll go over the top here. They get Castine running in behind the back line and ends up in, you know, goes out for a goal kick, but it ends up in an entry into the opposition's box as well.
Is that problem solving? Is that a product of having so many returners, that to be effective in problem solving early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, yes, you could say that it is. I think it certainly helps. But more so than that, I think if you've got a clear identity on how you want to coach the team and develop the players, then what situations within the training environment that you put them in, then they should start to make decisions themselves, especially if you've got real clear principles of play. If one of your principles is that if the opposition starts to build pressure and we can't play through them, then you play over them, then okay, then the ball carrier knows that in a build-up, pressure's coming, there's no pass here, then I have to go behind them. And then you see that in that moment. So, yeah, I think obviously a team that's got longevity together, understand each other a little bit more.
They know what you want as a coach.
But for me, it's more about it's the coaching and the principles that have probably been put in place that are leading to these moments of success.
Saw Charlize Grimes come in for Feigen. Captain Jordan Green coming off as well. As a coach, you want to be pretty clear. Here's our plan A, and if that's not working, we have plan B and C and so on.
Absolutely. And the best coaches do it the clearest.
It bounces to Richter. Shoots. It's saved. $18 shots tonight for NC State. Freshmen get tangled up. Eventually found its way to Richter. Oh, off the crossbar and straight down, collision, and Aoki clears it away.
They're going to have a look at that for sure.
It will be reviewed. Live, I didn't think it was in, but if it wasn't, it was awfully close.
It looked really close from here. It looked like Pickles thought it was going over until the last second. Made a bit of,
Look at Jessica Hill.
Made a bit of a mess of it.
Can you believe that? Yeah. I mean, couldn't have aimed it any better from that far out. And they will review it. Oh,
it's a goal.
Oh, that's in.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal.
I don't think this review will take very long. Yeah. Off the very top of the crossbar. And we've got ourselves a brand new match.
Yeah, there's no question that crossed the line. And Pickles pulls her hands away from it right at the last second. I can only think that she thought it was going over.
It is a goal for Elon. And with 13 and a half minutes remaining, a brand new match. And for Jessica Hill, not only is it an incredible goal, it's the first goal of her collegiate career. And there's the definitive look. It is over the line. I almost wonder if she just jumped just a hair early. Or like you said, maybe just thought it was going over, misjudged it.
Yeah, the replay that we saw that was directly behind the goal, you see her right hand, she goes up, she pulls it back. And unfortunately for her, because she's had a very composed night, that for me would go down as a goalkeeping error, a very avoidable goal to concede. And Coach Higgins, you could see his frustration on the sideline. Makes the game close going into the last 13 minutes here.
Because Elon tonight felt like they were going to need a bounce to go their way. There is one. Does Richter have a rebuttal? Richter, patient, across the face of goal. Offside flag was up, wouldn't have counted anyways. But now you're one more bounce away from a result.
Absolutely. intrigued to see if Elon can just put NC State under a large amount of pressure here. It's a great idea. This is an excellent through ball. It's a great movement from outside to in by Katie Richter. Just mistimed, fractionally offside.
So Elon has put quite a bit more game pressure on NC State, but they're still seeking a goal, which means they still need to commit numbers forward. And in doing so, you can see things have opened up here quite a bit. And any moment that Elon has not been completely compact and organized, NC State has looked like they're about to score any moment.
Correct. And I think since that goal has come, the lines will open up a little bit more. What NC State can't afford to do is create moments like that are mistakes that lead to turnovers, that just build the confidence of Elon.
Yeah, you can feel it is palpable, the confidence of Elon right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And they've been in so much control of the game.
Nearly an equalizer there. Some nervous moments all of a sudden for NC State. Now it's Mana Nakata. Nakata will try just past the far post. Now behind the play, we have an Elon player down. I'll show you this chance first, and Pickles did not take a good first step. Like she was almost a little bit off balance.
I think the cross is coming from a wide area, so she's way too close to the near post, so you've got a lot of ground to have to cover. She could start almost in the middle of the goal there, and it'd be an easy take, but the fact she's having to adjust so much has caused her a problem.
It was Alex Moore who made that clearing play, and then Nakata just that close.
Yeah, great solo run from Nakata. The touch that took her into that space, the way she received it was excellent.
The player down for Elon, Nicole Kleiner behind the play. The freshman, good to see her jogging off. Freshman who scored in her debut against VCU and had an assist last match. Feigen will come back in.
Might be mistaken, but she was Rookie of the Week.
Yeah, quite a first week.
Yeah.
See Isabel DePrima in. Roberts. Former 200-meter state champ in track. And you can see it.
She plays with a jetpack on. It's crazy how she just pushes the ball, and all of a sudden she's up to full acceleration. Excellent bit of individual play. She'll be disappointed. I think that's a great ball across the face of the goal. She'll be hoping Kate Richter can get on the end of it for what would have been a back post tap-in.
That is off of Murdoch. It'll be an NC State throw. 10 minutes remaining. Elon is playing more aggressively, and that has opened up the lines for NC State, where their best defense might just be a third goal to settle things down.
Actually, I'd like to see them try and keep the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Do what they've done for the previous 80 minutes or sort of 75 minutes. They were able to keep the ball and take any sort of panic out of this game as we go into the last 10 minutes here.
Captain Jordan Green will check back in. Yeah, it has, you say, any sort of panic, it has gotten a little chaotic here in really since the Hill goal. Good turn from Nakata. Bordeleau's try is over the bar. Dwyer putting some pressure on Richter. Not pleased to be whistled there. Not a lot of contact. The Red Terrors supporter section for NC State. Late on a Sunday night.
Hope they don't have class tomorrow morning.
A doubleheader. They've been out here since about 4 o'clock or so. Plenty of energy. Nowhere near bedtime.
Love it.
Some of the men's soccer team is up there. Bordeleau can't quite keep it in. You know, as a freshman, you don't usually get to pick, but as an upperclassman, usually you can avoid that Monday morning 8 a.m. class. You know, you set that schedule. Nothing before noon, please. That was my strategy, at least.
And you graduated in 6 years, right?
4. I did it
okay,
in 4.
okay.
Yeah. That communications degree. Not a lot of math. Wrote a lot of papers. A lot of talking. Not a lot of math.
Well, you're good at that.
Worked out well for me.
You're good at that.
No math. At 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, I mean, that's when you're just starting to think about writing your paper.
Yeah, that would be my plan. Take it to the wire. It's more exciting that way.
Got a full day of soccer in. Okay, now it's time to roll up my sleeves and get to work on that paper that's due tomorrow. Good combination play. Dwyer with a saving tackle. 4.5 minutes left.
This is exactly what NC State need to do. They need to keep the ball in Elon's half, slow the game down with throw-ins and free kicks, maintain possession of the ball, and see this game out.
NC State content to keep it down towards this corner. Toronto with a good bit of skill there. (2-1) the score. Let's take a look at all 3 goals. 5th minute here, Jade Bordeleau. All by herself. Mary Frances Sims to Roberts right after she had hit the crossbar just a moment before. That made it 2-0 as again NC State takes it down towards the corner flag. And then Jessica Hill from way outside got the perfect bounce off the crossbar and down. Originally called no goal, but they immediately looked at it and it did indeed cross the line. Here's the free kick. I mean, from way downtown. First career goal for Hill to give Elon new life, and they've had certainly much more energy after that goal. We saw the freshman Kleiner jog off earlier. Good to see her back in this match after she had gone down behind the play. NC State trying to salt this away.
Doing a really good job of killing the game off.
Find the ball, find the ball. Find it, find it, find it.
They can do this for the last minute and a half.
You know, the strength and physicality of Jade Bordeleau. She's a handful for opposing defenses, and offside. Well, we have lost the clock here, so they're going to have to keep it by hand. Okay, now it's gone back up, 1:14. That's why the clock was stopped momentarily by our referee. That's why the whistle was blown, and he'd made the motion to stop the clock because it had gone dark on the scoreboard, as you can see. It's back up now, but I think we're going to have a check on how much time really should be left.
Normally only see this in basketball games, right?
Oh yeah, I call a lot of basketball games. And yes, there are many reviews of the clock. And sometimes we laugh about it because after a 5-minute delay, they say we're going to add 0.2 to the clock. Okay, not 5 minutes, but
makes all the difference.
Yeah.
In basketball, right?
You know, sometimes it can, sometimes not, but sometimes yes. We have to keep manual time from where the clock was to where it should be. Well, the clock has stayed at 1:14, so we're gonna stick with that. For NC State, whether there's 1:14 or even a couple of ticks more, the strategy is the same: defend, defend, defend. And if you can, do it from this position.
just haven't seen the urgency that I thought I was going to see from Elon when they got that goal. They really haven't created anything since that moment. NC State did settle down maybe 2 minutes after the goal. We felt some momentum, but outside of that, they've not really done anything. So a little disappointed in Elon and the fact that they've not just said, you know what, let's throw the kitchen sink at them here. Let's give them everything we've got.
Foul given here. The clock will continue to run. Card is shown. It goes against Dwyer. And NC State is going to improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2013. And for Elon, their first regular season non-conference loss in the last 17 matches. In what was a battle of the unbeatens, NC State emerges on top, 2-1 the final to improve to 4-0.